Have you ever wondered how football, the world's most popular sport, actually began? Today, more than 5 billion people follow football. Every 4 years, the FIFA World Cup becomes one of the largest events on Earth. Stadiums fill with roaring fans, legendary players become global icons, and billions of dollars flow through the sport every year. But here's the fascinating question: who invented football? Did one person create it? Was it born in England? Or does its story stretch back thousands of years into ancient civilizations? The truth is far more surprising than most people realize. Football wasn't invented overnight. It evolved through centuries of wars, kings, schools, riots, and even ancient military training. Tonight, we're traveling across more than 2,500 years of history, from ancient China and Greece to medieval England, and finally to the modern stadiums we know today. So sit back, relax, and let's uncover the incredible story behind the beautiful game. Long before modern football existed, people were already kicking balls. One of the earliest known games was played in ancient China around the 3rd century BCE during the Han Dynasty. The game was called Kuju, which literally means kick the ball. Unlike today's footballs, the ball was made from stitched leather and stuffed with feathers or animal hair. Soldiers originally played Kuju as military training. The objective was surprisingly familiar. Players had to kick the ball into a small net without using their hands. Historians believe Kuju improved agility, teamwork, balance, and physical fitness. Even Chinese emperors became fascinated with the game. Royal courts organized official competitions. Professional players entertained nobles and wealthy families. Ancient paintings and historical records show players performing incredible tricks, juggling the ball with their feet, knees, shoulders, and chest. Sound familiar? Many of the skills used by today's football stars existed over 2,000 years ago. Meanwhile, across the world in ancient Greece, another ball game was developing. The Greeks played a game called Ipiskiros. Unlike Kuju, this was far more physical. Players pushed, tackled, and wrestled each other while trying to move the ball across a boundary. Later, the Romans adopted a similar version known as harpastum. Roman soldiers carried the game throughout Europe as they expanded their empire. Although these games looked very different from modern football, they helped spread the idea of team ball sports across the continent. By the Middle Ages, football had become absolute chaos. In medieval England, there were almost no rules. Entire villages competed against each other. Hundreds of players would gather. The field could stretch for several miles. The goal: move the ball to a church, a town square, or another village. Everything else was fair game. Players punched, kicked, pushed, dragged, sometimes even fought with sticks. Windows were smashed, market stalls destroyed, farm fields ruined. People were seriously injured every year. Some even died. Kings became increasingly frustrated. In 1314, King Edward II officially banned football in London. His reason: the game created great noise and distracted young men from practicing archery, an essential military skill at the time. But the bans didn't work. People loved football too much. Generation after generation continued playing despite the risks. By the early 1800s, Britain was changing. The Industrial Revolution transformed cities. Schools expanded. Students needed organized sports. But there was one major problem. Every school had different football rules. Some allowed carrying the ball. Others banned it completely. Some allowed kicking opponents. Others prohibited physical contact. When different schools met, arguments broke out before the game even began. Everyone believed their own rules were correct. It became obvious. Football needed one universal rulebook. By the middle of the 19th century, football had become wildly popular across Britain. But there was one major problem. Every school, college, and local club played by its own rules. In one town, players could carry the ball in their hands. In another, that same action was considered a foul. Some matches allowed hacking opponents by kicking their shins, while others banned it completely. As a result, organized matches often turned into endless arguments instead of exciting competition. Everyone loved football, but nobody could agree on how it should actually be played. Everything changed in 1863. On October 26, 1863, representatives from several football clubs gathered at the Freemasons' Tavern in London. Their goal was simple but historic: to create one universal set of rules for the game. After weeks of discussions and debates, they founded the Football Association, commonly known today as the FA. This became the world's first official governing body for football and marked the birth of modern association football. However, not everyone agreed with the new rules. The biggest disagreement centered on one question: should players be allowed to run while carrying the ball? Some clubs believed that carrying the ball and tackling opponents made the game more exciting and physical. Others wanted football to be played almost entirely with the feet. The disagreement became so intense that the football community split into two separate sports. The clubs that supported carrying the ball eventually developed what we now know as rugby football, while those that accepted the FA's rules continued playing association football, which later became simply known as football or soccer in some countries. That single decision forever changed the history of sports. For the first time, football had standardized rules. Players could no longer carry the ball with their hands, except for the goalkeeper in specific situations. Dangerous kicking and tripping were banned. The size of the field became more consistent, and rules for goals, throw-ins, and fouls began to take shape. Now, clubs from different cities could finally compete fairly because everyone was following the same rulebook. As football became more organized, competitive tournaments soon followed. In 1871, England introduced the FA Cup, the world's oldest national football competition that is still played today. Suddenly, even small clubs had the opportunity to challenge powerful teams in knockout matches, creating unforgettable moments and giant-killing stories. League football soon followed. By 1888, the Football League was established in England, introducing a full season of scheduled matches. Instead of playing only friendly games, clubs now competed for league titles, points, and promotion, creating rivalries that still exist today. The success of English football quickly inspired the rest of the world. British sailors, merchants, engineers, and railway workers carried football wherever they traveled. In Europe, the game spread rapidly through countries like Spain, Italy, Germany, and France. In South America, British railway workers introduced football to Argentina, Uruguay, and Brazil. What began as a foreign pastime soon became a national obsession. Within a few decades, South America was producing some of the world's greatest footballers. Football also reached Africa, where local communities embraced the sport with incredible passion despite colonial rule. The simplicity of the game meant that children needed little more than a ball, or sometimes even a bundle of cloth tied together, to play. Across Asia, football gained popularity through schools, universities, and ports. Nations such as Japan, China, India, and later South Korea began forming clubs and national teams, laying the foundations for the sport's future growth. By the beginning of the 20th century, football had become an international game, but there was still one problem. Each country managed football independently. There was no global organization to oversee international competitions or ensure that every nation followed the same rules. To solve this, representatives from 7 European countries met in Paris on May 21, 1904. There they founded FIFA, the Fédération Internationale de Football Association. Its mission was ambitious: to unite football under one international organization, standardize the laws of the game, and organize competitions between nations. Few people at the time could have imagined just how influential FIFA would become. For the next few decades, international matches became increasingly popular. Fans wanted something bigger than club football. They wanted to know one thing: which country was truly the best in the world. That dream became reality in 1930. Uruguay, the reigning Olympic football champion and celebrating the centenary of its independence, hosted the very first FIFA World Cup. Only 13 nations participated, many facing long and expensive journeys across the Atlantic Ocean. On July 30, 1930, Uruguay defeated Argentina 4-2 in the final, becoming the first-ever FIFA World Cup champion. A new sporting tradition had begun, one that would eventually become the largest and most watched sporting event on Earth. Yet football's greatest explosion in popularity came not from the players themselves, but from technology. In the early 20th century, radio transformed football forever. For the first time, millions of people who could not attend matches could still experience every pass, tackle, and goal through live commentary. Families gathered around radios, imagining every moment as commentators painted vivid pictures with their voices. Then came television. Televised matches brought football directly into people's living rooms. Fans could finally watch legendary players, unforgettable goals, dramatic finals, and emotional celebrations with their own eyes. Color television, satellite broadcasting, and later the internet carried football across every continent. A child in Bangladesh could watch a match in England. A family in Brazil could cheer for a club in Spain. A fan in Nigeria could celebrate a goal scored in Italy only seconds after it happened. Football was no longer just a sport played in stadiums. It had become a universal language, one capable of connecting billions of people, regardless of nationality, culture, or language. From a collection of conflicting local games in 19th century Britain to the world's most beloved sport, football's journey is a story of unity, passion, and shared human excitement. And today, every time the referee blows the whistle, that remarkable history continues to unfold. The next time you watch a football match, remember, you're not just watching 22 players chasing a ball. You're witnessing a tradition that has evolved for more than 2,000 years. From ancient Chinese soldiers to medieval English villages to packed stadiums filled with millions of passionate fans, football has survived wars, kings, revolutions, and centuries of change. And that's exactly why it remains the world's game. If you enjoyed this journey through football history, Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let us know which sports history you'd like to explore next.